Hello everyone, and a special hello to our new subscribers.
Hello also from me, and thank you for all the comments we received, all the good things that you've been suggesting. It's always great encouragement to receive comments and such, so well, thank you.
Thank you very much, it's very encouraging. Today we're going to do a comparison video. Remember a few videos back we showed these pencils off, which we still haven't really tested. And the only other aqua pencils that we had lying around were these.
And those are a bit older. I think you bought them when?
It was, I think, 2016. I know at that point South Africa's postal service was still working at that point.
2016. We should explain something here because I'm not sure if we ever stated that in the other videos. We are a married couple. My wife is from South Africa, I'm from Germany, we're now in Germany, but for the longest time we were having a long distance relationship, and those watercolor pencils were something my wife sent me back then, just to send me something nice that I have never seen here around, although the package also has like German writing on it, so they must also be available in Europe, and in actually quite a number of countries.
Yes, so we thought it would be interesting to share with this.
So we bought these watercolor pencils at Action, as so often where we buy our stuff these days. And we were thinking, how can we compare them to something that is of the same price range, since these are literally dirt cheap.
Yes, because I can't exactly remember how much these were when I bought them. I think they, at that point in time, in South Africa's currencies, basically plummeting into junk status right now. I think at the time I bought them they were 16 Rand, which at that point I think was like around the euro mark.
So literally nothing. So we thought we just gonna look at some equivalents. We will not be able to find all the equivalents because those are more in the orange range and those are more in the blues, and for the green one we will not find anything.
Yes, so we're just going to do our best with comparing them. So there's probably going to be a jump cut here while we sort our pencils out. We did the best eyeballing the colors. We did not look at the colors labeled on the front of these tins. Instead we were just looking at the barrel colors.
Yeah. Especially since we noticed that the barrel colors here on the back of the pencils seem not always to be the same as you're actually getting on the lead of the actual pencil.
Yeah.
So we've been basically eyeballing the leads with each other.
Yes. So we are going to do some swatches now. We're going to be using this paper that we bought at...
this one should be from Cody, if my memory does not fail me.
She says Cody.de down there. Okay, yes. This is cheap watercolor paper from Cody. So on to swatching. I'm going to go with the yellow DecoTime over here. Well, I assume it's yellow. This is number 6, apparently lemon yellow, but that's kind of irrelevant. It's very light. I'm actually pressing really hard on this paper. And then I am going to take the Bic one. I'm also pressing pretty hard here.
Now, what I notice right away, as we already said, the tone of the color may be slightly different because, again, we were eyeballing this. But it seems to me that the Bic pencil has like a more thorough layering. Is it what you also noticed, or?
Yes, to me they feel like they are going down a bit smoother. These you get like a little bit of a resistance, if that makes sense. Okay, you swatch one and then see if you feel the same as me.
Alright, well then I'm just gonna take the next one that is laying here. This will be this one.
Number 37.
Number 37 is... I can't read it. Well, it's like some kind of magenta pink color.
Lavender pink, it claims.
So, I'm gonna try it in a more... Oh, I almost made a hole in this cheap paper. So to give this like a bit more chance of getting the pigment down onto the paper with more pressure. Okay. And now this is the Bic equivalent. You see, this is probably now lighter, but again,
yeah,
it's not the point of this video.
Yeah, because we were just looking at the closest barrel color that we have.
You see, this one is darker than this one, but again, we did not have other Bic pencils and other color tones, so this is the closest match we can get here. These seem to be, well, if I had to compare them now, which is again a bit uneven, still goes down like a little nicer than the other one, although it's not too bad.
Okay, what we do now, we will just swatch all the colors and we'll speed it up, and then we will go down to wetting them.
See you in a minute.
Even though I was pressing exactly the same, the Bic ones are actually crumbling a little because the leads seem to be a little bit softer.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay, we laid them all down. I just want to point out here for the red that the Bic one is pretty close to its own barrel, and this is nowhere near its own barrel.
No, it also depends on what light you hold these in. Sometimes they appear like a little lighter. I think it would have really been better for these pencils if they made the whole barrel not black, but actually in the cover, just like the Bic pencils are. It would, I think, make it easier to pick the right color. Okay,
we are going to try and wet them now, because that's what you're supposed to do with these. So over here we have a little bit of water, and here's a paintbrush. So I'm going to go over to the yellow over here. Actually, I'm not going to go for the yellow because that's really light. I'm going to go for the orange here. So I am wetting the DecoTime ones.
Mm-hmm. And we see it pulls the pigment, as it should.
It's pulling the pigment. Let's go for a little on this side here. I would expect it to pull the pigment a little bit more than that. Anyway, I'm going to now pull on the Bic one.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, the Bic ones are much, much, much stronger.
Now, I do not want to be that person, but I would say this was expected alone from the smoothness the Bic pencils do work on the paper when you use them without water. There is far more pigment coming off the lead. So it doesn't really surprise me that it's easier to paint it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no comparison here. This is, I mean, it pulls the pigment, but this...
It does work, kinda, sorta.
Alright.
So we try the same here. I'm trying the DecoTime first, and you see... It does, again, work kinda, sorta. I mean, the effect is there, but you really do need a lot of water for it, and if you would have other paper than this, I would say at this point it would already start eating it. And now in comparison,
No, this is the Bic one.
look at this.
Wow.
A much, I mean, this is also a darker color, but it's like much more vibrant.
Yeah, it is
and much more even. I mean, here you can still see where I pressed on the paper on the Bic pencil.
Yeah.
It's basically now one swatch.
Yeah, it's not so obvious now on the Bic one. So we're just going to blend all of these quickly. We have blended all the colours.
It's pretty clear who the winner is here.
Yeah, the Bic are definitely way more vibrant and spreadable than the DecoTime ones, unfortunately.
Very much more vibrant, I would say. The other ones, as hard as they were to put on paper, they were exactly as hard to blend.
Yeah, sadly we couldn't blend any of the green ones from the Bic set.
These here. We also have a white one, but I mean the white one is always like a little bit out of competition. Wait. I just remembered something. Remember we got this other watercolor kit. Weren't there also watercolor pencils in there?
Oh, yes there is.
Let me just check quickly. We do a little jump cut here and then we be right back.
Yeah. Okay, jump cut back in. So my husband just remembered that in that watercolor set that we bought from DecoTime a few weeks ago actually has watercolors in it, and I remember pointing out back then that these are different, not only because they are in a different color barrel, but because these actually say something different to the other ones. If I could get this green one.
While you show these off, I'm trying to get like the equivalent to the color pencil we need to compare.
Alright, so over here you can see that the ones that came in the set have white colored barrels that say watercolor pencil, and these ones from the tin are in a black shell and say premium quality, and I wonder if there's any difference between these.
I wonder too. So we have this one. I think those two should be pretty close together. I'm not sure. Will this be the right one? I think it's halfway comparable.
Yeah.
This is more like a lime color and this is more like a grass color. But I think for the sake of demonstration, we can let it slide.
Oh, okay, these feel different already, interestingly.
It looks different.
It does look different. They feel different.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Okay, color match is not good, but that's irrelevant right now.
That's not what we're looking for.
Okay, you want to do that green there quick?
Sure. So let's see how this one behaves. I'm just gonna have to hold this here. It's similar-ish, but a bit more satisfying.
Yeah, it doesn't seem, I mean, scratchy is not the correct term for this.
Smoother.
Yeah, these feel resistant.
Well, also here you see this is obviously a darker green shade, but again, not the point of what we're doing.
All right. So, I'm going to use a bit of water. This time I'm going to do the Bic one first.
No surprise here.
No surprise there.
Works very well.
Very satisfying. Now, let's try our DecoTime ones now. Oh.
Okay, I would not have expected that as an outcome.
What the hell? These are way nicer. I mean, I'm being a bit too quick here with the judgment of one pencil, but you try.
Let's see. Oops. Very interesting. And this is the big one. Those work way better than the other ones.
I'm dumbfounded right now.
Well,
Could you pass me the purple Bic crayon?
this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see, I mean, this was here. So this is the Bic one again. No, this is the other DecoTime one. Okay, I mean, color match is not exactly. This is not about the color match right now. This is just about how well does it wet.
I'm just gonna get this like a little for you. There you go.
Okay. So that's Bic. And this is DecoTime. Yeah, they're definitely pulling more pigment than the others.
More. It's not ideal,
but it's
but
way nicer.
better.
It's way nicer. Okay. That's interesting. So these are definitely very different to these ones you get in the tin. I mean, they're both DecoTime, but okay.
You can hear we are actually surprised ourselves. We did not try these out. We kind of figured those are same make, same model, just in a different shell, but apparently the make of the lead is different. More pigment is coming off onto the paper, they are easier to work with. The price is still not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was €7 something the day we went there. Normal selling price of their watercolor set by DecoTime is normally €9.95, I think.
Yes, if they would switch out those with those in the tins and so sell these separately, I think that would be the more ideal outcome for these pencils.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. Sorry.
It's interesting though. I have an idea. Maybe we set another jump cut here and you go ahead and maybe color something with these, since you have like a little bit more experience than I do with color pencils, watercolor pencils, so to speak. And then maybe you give us like a little judgment of how they feel in actual real life action.
Sure, I'll do that.
Great.